Wow, you're going to want to stick around and watch this one to the end.
Get comfortable, bring the best libs that Utah has to offer. Counting or not counting gang violence. Great.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith.
For more content to help you with your Christian walk, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe.
On Wednesday, September 10th, when Charlie Kirk was shot, I posted a video offering him the same thoughts and prayers that he offered after every child was senselessly gunned down while at school. Within an hour, and before any condition was known on Charlie, I posted a follow-up video expressing why I felt the way I did, and even ended with, "I hope Charlie Kirk makes a full recovery and goes on to become a gun violence advocate." Since if you have watched any of the videos on my page, you would know I stand firmly on not being violent and that violence is not the way we are going to fix things in this country. Well, since I posted those two videos, my life has been completely turned upside down and I have been thrown into what I can only explain as literal hell. First, my address was leaked, and then all of my family's personal information followed. My boyfriend's company, again, I said he's my boyfriend, he is not my husband, that has absolutely nothing to do with TikTok, with my TikTok account, or social media, or politics in general, has been defamed and slandered. Calls and negative reviews started pouring in by the thousands. Someone showed up to his company, entered his private office, and verbally assaulted him. My child, and my family's lives have been threatened thousands of times. I have received text messages and emails saying I should be raped and murdered and that people are coming to my house, say my address, and then say they are coming to spray it with bullets. MAGA protesters have shown up to my house, driven through my private neighborhood, sent me hate mail, left notes on my boyfriend's office, and my own neighbor has offered to share my whereabouts with the internet. Yes, you heard that correctly. My neighbor has offered to share my whereabouts with the internet. We have been traumatized and stripped of our privacy, all because I said Charlie Kirk, who did not believe in empathy himself, did not have mine. I think the most ironic thing is that my life and my family's lives have been torn apart over my words on the internet by the very people who support Charlie Kirk and are always yelling the loudest about their First Amendment right and freedoms of speech. And while I realize and believe strongly that words have consequences, there is nothing that I did or said that even deserved a percentage of what happened to me and my family. And I know I am not the only one whose life has been destroyed over this. Hundreds, if not thousands, of other content creators on this very app have been fired from their jobs and doxxed. And I must say, that really terrifies me because it makes it clear that these people only want us to have the First Amendment right and freedom of speech when it fits their narrative. That is not the country I was born in, and that is certainly not the country I want to raise my child in. So today I come to you with a few calls to action. First, if you or anybody you know has been doxxed, harassed, threatened, or fired, please reach out to me via email at I'veBeenDoxxed2@gmail.com. Secondly, please consider attending your local No Kings Part 2 protest on October 18th. And third, if you are a California resident, please get out and vote yes in person on November 4th on Prop 50, the Election Rigging Response Act. I'll end with this. Right now, the most important thing we can do is support each other. Fascism hates community, so right now we must build community.
Charlie Kirk's killer, Tyler Robinson, he's not black, he's not trans, he's not Muslim, he's not an immigrant, he is not a Democrat. Meet Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson. He is a white, Christian, conservative, Republican male with a gun again. And statistically...
Hi, Charlie. Yeah, you're going to have to lower that one for me.
What's your name again?
Thank you. Naima. How are you doing?
Naima, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. How have you been?
Great.
That's fantastic. You did do that. I mean, you didn't, but Trump did. Yes.
The collective we, yeah.
Yes, the collective we. So speaking of Trump, I do want to talk a little bit about his policy on DEI. As you know, in his first weeks in office, he signed the executive order declaring that DEI is both unlawful and a threat to national unity. And I just kind of want to ask you to elaborate on why DEI is unlawful.
Well, based on the Civil Rights Act, which I have disagreements with, but based on the Civil Rights Act, which is the law of the land, it says you shall not discriminate based on color, race, creed, or origin of nationality.
Yes.
And DEI definitionally does those things.
How does it definitionally do those things?
So, for example, if you say you are going to hire a certain amount of people or have scholarships only for a certain people, you are then prejudicing against another group.
Which group are you prejudicing against?
White people, Asians as well. I mean, white people are an easy one off the top of your head. So, for example, in the Harvard admissions case, I said this earlier, the average test score for a black individual was around 1300 SAT, about 3.2 GPA. For a white or Asian, it would be about a 3.9 to 4 GPA and about nearly a perfect SAT. So you are disenfranchising and stereotyping and prejudicing against whites or Asians in favor of blacks.
You're not prejudicing against whites or Asians, though, because DEI is not on a race basis. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion of all people. Affirmative action is what is intended to address racial inequality, but DEI isn't on the basis of race.
Well, so DEI is a project of the affirmative action movement, so one comes before the other. He signed an executive order against both, for the record, so I wasn't sure which one you were talking about.
I'm talking about DEI.
So DEI, it depends what we mean in practice. So I can give you one example. There are black-only graduation ceremonies at certain schools, or black-only dormitories.
But those are kind of student-led. I mean, I'm part of a black-only organization, and it's run by students. It's not through the school.
Let's play it out. So if there is a black-only, let's pretend, which it's not, that building is black-only. If I said that, if that building was white,
like the campus center?
No, I said let's pretend it's not.
Yes, hypothetically, yes.
Hypothetically, if that building was white only, you would agree that's a violation of the Civil Rights Act.
Yes, but there are no buildings on campus that are black only and white only.
Well,
and by the way,
but there are on other campuses.
No, but in those dormitories that are like culturally specific, you don't have to be that culture to live there. They're not going to not allow you to be black to live in a black dormitory. Ujima at Stanford, white people do live at Ujima. That's not.
I don't know about that specific example, but if it says black only dormitory,
but it doesn't say black only.
But okay, how about this? How about if we had? Well, it does.
It doesn't. Where does it say that?
Just to be clear, well, in the title. But let's pretend it says
where?
black.
Like what school? Where does it say black only building?
Eastern Washington University, Portland State University, just off the top of my head, San Jose State University.
They say black only dormitory. And if a white person were to apply to live there,
it's a black affinity cultural space of which only black individuals are accepted and governed for black individuals. But can we have white affinity cultural spaces?
You can have a white affinity cultural space. The activity is the issue is that you're saying black only. It's not black only. It's a black affinity cultural space. But anyone is invited if they would like to participate.
I would, first of all,
you cannot legislatively not allow someone of any race to participate in something. That doesn't exist.
We agree. That's the spirit of the diversity, equity, inclusion order, is that DEI in practice, again, we have to go through example after example, is discrimination, prejudice, and segregation.
Well, let's talk about DEI in practice. Let's talk about DEI programs in the workforce, because DEI programs in the workforce happen to benefit veterans. They benefit people with disabilities. They benefit people at an economic desperate. They benefit lots of people that is not just on the basis of race. And to me, it feels like you're conflating DEI with pro-blackness or black only, which is not the definition of DEI.
So let's take a high-profile DEI example. Is that cool? Just maybe one we can play around with?
Okay.
Which got me in a lot of viral trouble, which I don't care, which is pilots.
I got in a lot of viral trouble, too. I was debating this guy,
I know. And he kept interrupting you.
He did!
I know, right? Which is that, let's say DEI, a project of DEI at United Airlines was that we want to get 40% of our pilots to be black or women of color, or women or people of color.
40%.
50. I'm sorry, to get up to 50. It was at like 6%. So therefore, they wanted to make a push towards that, and it was currently at 6%. We look at that and we say, wow, you're going to have to lower standards to get to that goal.